Hello friends, I am going to work on our turtle ponds, cleaning you up. I try doing this once a week and also be doing the cleanup in this pond garden is what I would call it. Tidying up spent blooms in addition to anything that may be dying back as well. Cleaning up the oak tree leaves and branches that fall, the limbs from the squirrels, and tidying up just rocks and that kind of stuff. So join me. I'm gonna go ahead and scrub all of the algae off of the pool sides, the pond sides, and off of the pots as well. So this is free flowing. I will use the backwash on our pump to go ahead and remove any extra gunk that's in the filter and then anything that's in the water. We have 3 red-eared sliders, a large adult on the top and then 2 juveniles on the bottom pond. In addition, we have large goldfish. They're still babies. They're about 3 to 4 inches long. And some, it's called copper minnows. And then some like carpies down in the bottom pond. So, and 2 plecos that are rather large, about 8 inches long. And we also have some cory cats, algae eaters. So trying to build up the pond, and I think it's going rather well. We also get dragonflies, wasps, a lot of dragonfly larvae, and birds that will come and drink out of here too. Also our dogs, they love it too. I'm going to go ahead and locate our 2 juvenile turtles. So I want to make sure that they're doing well. They're very skittish, even though we've had them for about almost 2 months now. Our red slider, our large adult one, has no qualms. He comes up to us, he comes up to our Frenchie, and they actually have a really sweet relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and try locating them and then just check and see, maybe making sure they're all right. Okay, I got one, which I believe this is Michelangelo. And he looks good, no damage. You want to make sure that there's no diseases, no injuries. And he's looking really, really good. Okay, go on your way. I was hoping you wouldn't go back to the same spot, because I'm trying to now locate who is adopted brother. That was Donatello. This is Michelangelo. He's much smaller, if you can see that. So, checking him out. He's doing good. He's growing. So you can see his shell down here is actually getting larger than up here. So, very good. He is not happy right now. He's like, let me go. He's got his mouth open. Defensive, which is okay. Having a little bit of damage. I'm going to check on that in a couple of days. And then maybe have to take him to the vet. Okay, buddy. We'll have fun. Go. Go. I'm going to go ahead and backwash the system now. This way it will allow the filter to be cleaned out and take out hopefully any impurities. So I try doing approximately 25% of that once a week. We have, with both ponds, it's approximately 345 gallons of water. And I do top that off at least 2, sometimes 3 times a week, depending on how hot due to the evaporation. So I will take out 4 5-gallon buckets of water, and then I will show you how I use the hose and a netting and then the bucket, because what I don't want to do is capture any fish, frogs, or dragonfly larvae, the little nymphs. So what I do is I go, once I finish collecting the water, go through the net and place them back into the ponds. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the handle around here on the filter. I'll do it 20 times. I think it just needs to do 10, but I like to do 20 because it really stirs up the water and cleans out the filter, I feel, a little bit more. Once I've done that, then I will turn this valve, and it will go ahead and discharge the water and into my net. So this has a little indicator. It's a little red indicator in here of when to clean it, but I try not to allow it to get to that point, because then of course it's causing undue stress on the filter and the whole pump. That's an everyday struggle with me doing that. The valve is hard, and many times I have to use both hands, so it's kind of one of those fights of not allowing the net to fall down, but I can usually still control it well. So here we go. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the water is pretty gross and dark. I'll try doing this for you. It's actually getting lighter, but you can see how dark it is. Okay, now I turn this off. And I do have water here in the hose. Let me put you back. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just drain this water because I don't want any wildlife to be in here. It's not going to sit for very long, but I still do that in between. Okay. And then I check for any fish, any larvae, and it looks like we are clear, which is pretty good. See, all skedaddled before the filter did the backwash. Okay. All good, Marco. All good. And then I recycle this water in the garden 3 more times. The water looks pretty clear, so I'm going to agitate the backflow one more time, the filter. That was more than 20, I can imagine. I just didn't focus and pay attention here. I was looking at butterflies. Big difference. Okay, we do have 1 fish in here. Let's see. That's good. We only have 1. I was trying to catch this piece. Let's see. See it? There it is. It's going back into the pond. It's a he. I don't know if it's a he. Could be a she. I don't know. Let me see if we have any wildlife in here. Nope, no babies, no nymphs. So I do want to see some of the debris that we pull out. It's a lot. So good news is that's a lot of the algae that I was just scrubbing that came out. So that makes me happy. Okay, that's that for that. And I'm going to go ahead and finish dumping this water. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dump the water. These have been sitting for several days. We always check to make sure there's no chlorine left because we do pull it from our tap. We're ready to go. I'll probably fill these up in a couple of days, fill it up because the water level was pretty low already in the lower pond. And then taking out 20 gallons definitely has left it emptier. And so each one of these drums is 15 gallons. So we'll have an additional 10 from what we took, but it still needs more, obviously. I will add algicide in here too, the prescribed amount, so you'll see. This is what I'm putting in there, Algifix for ponds. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my Dolly Parton measuring cup. Isn't that cute, a butterfly? I'll fill these up again, so in a couple days I can add more to the pond. And then I'm going to go ahead and do some maintenance around the pond on the plants, and also just in the pond the garden. And I'm using my hose link quick connect. So I just lift up this valve and place it in here. So I watched Laura from Garden Answer, and she had the hose link and these quick connects, and that is just amazing. We have several around the property because of it. So in addition to cleaning up the leaves and debris that sits on the gravel pathway, I'm going to go ahead and tidy up the dwarf, make sure that I'm saying this, dwarf papyrus little tut. Now, we got this in spring, and and it was smaller than this, and I have already divided into 3 pots. I have another pot up there. This one will need to be separated again, divided, in addition to the one over there in the other corner. And I have also given some to my sister. So it is a prolific grower. So if you want to have one of the tuts, I would definitely suggest a little tut because it does an amazing job. Did you chase the squirrel? Did you chase the squirrel? Did you tell him not my house? Huh? Did you tell him not in my house? This pencil cactus is doing rather well. So the only issue that it gets is it gets visits from raccoons who want to see what is in the pot. And so many times I have to fix the soil. But otherwise, doing rather well. Beautiful color. Kiwi cactus is doing well as well, and it has a little bit succulent going in there too. That was just a baby when I planted it. So the inland oats is doing well, and for the inland oats, I'm letting it reseed itself. If it falls in the gravel, then I will take those seeds and into the greenhouse. And I'm trying to, well, I actually am succeeding at, so you see them right here. That's part of them. Are propagating them. So I have some in the greenhouse right now. So I'm excited about that. I just love these fronds and then their little seed pods just blowing in the wind. So pretty. So I originally saw that at San Antonio Botanical Gardens during one of the visits and have purchased several plants from there. I'm going to take after these verbena and prune them up. I've already pruned them up twice this year, but they're just not doing as well as I had hoped. They did suffer a little bit of spider mite damage earlier this summer. So we are trying to rebound from that. were 2 live limbs that I inadvertently cut, so I'll see if I can get those propagated. While I was cleaning around the pond, I found 3 different skins, snake skins. And I'm hoping they're rat snake skins and not copperheads, because that would be crazy if it was. So I'm going to do a quick little tour, mini tour. This is the bottom pond. This is the top pond. Yes, he's very here with algae. And this is what we were discussing earlier in regards to the cactus, kiwi cactus. And I went and trimmed the verbena. That is a pride of Barbados, or grew from seed. That is the western wormwood, Artemisia. And one of the inland oats, sea oats, another inland sea oats. It's a native lantana, and it flowers orange, yellow, and red. And it does reseed itself. You can see currently there's seeds, and some birds just absolutely love them. This is the Mexican honeysuckle. I've done a short on that. Coxcomb celosia that has reseeded itself. More of the native lantana. Another inland sea oat right there. Then on this side, an inland sea oat, and then the dianthus I picked up this spring, which I've never had before, and sulfur sunflower Sophia, and it has done really well. And then that's a tropical butterfly. No. Milkweed, tropical milkweed. Jerusalem sage there, I got this spring. And then these 2, yesterday I came out and the deer have pulled half of each of these out of the ground. So I planted them in and re-watered them. So I'm hoping they will rebound. I was pretty disappointed with them. Gulf molly. And then this is a coreopsis. I'm not very good at coreopsis, and I don't know what it is. Jerusalem sage, and more of the celosia, or celosia, and it has reseeded itself as well. Another Gulf molly back there, and then this thing is just huge. Purple fountain grass. Love it. And then I have some calla lilies there. And then celosia that has reseeded itself during the season several times. I have yellow and fuchsia, and then a birds of paradise. 2 sunseekers red coneflower echinacea here, and they bloom like a pink color, not red. So it was kind of misleading, but I'm pleased that it's more of this pinky color. This is the copper leaf shrub, and this is the curly leaf version, and it's setting its flowers here. You can see that's already finished, and then this is a new one where it's kind of fuzzy. It's really pretty. See that? And then another tropical milkweed with aphids, and then some more celosia. And then these are cute because they're combined. The seeds combined. And then here is a red hot poker that has decided to give up and surrender life to 50% off vincas. Isn't that a pretty color? And then these were the Lobster Fest verbena, and they died when I went on holiday in August, and they just never came back. So I think I'm definitely going to pull them out today, clean them up, pull up that weed, and then see what else potentially I'm going to go ahead and add in here. There is one other item. Oh, there's the Fire Chief Hukra, Corbell's Hukra. This one did not have a name on its planter, in its pot, I mean, and I planted it probably 2 weeks ago. So most sun that they get during the day. So they're usually in shade. And that right there is a songbird mixed columbine. Oh, and there's a calla lily right there too. So let's just kind of finish up, and look at that, a black swallowtail. So I got to this point here on this side. It is 90 degrees and I do not want to be out in the sun. So I'm going to stay in the shady part and finish this side and then that side. The sun's going to be starting to come this way, so I figure if I gradually start moving along with the sun, I can stay in the shade the entire time. I'm cleaning up one of these coreopsis that sit on this side and of this little small walkway, and just cleaning up the leaves. Pruning back all the dead stuff. So in regards to what I'm cleaning out of the bed, I'm just cleaning out leaves, the oak leaves, and leaving the almond, oh my heavens, and leaving the acorns in the ground. One, I don't mind them decomposing in the garden. The oak leaves tend to just make a mess, unfortunately. And some of these acorns are not all the way cleaned out. So they can still be eaten by birds and the squirrels. So I'm going to leave them as food for the wildlife. And yeah, I have plenty of leaves in the yard, in the property, for beetles and other things to shelter under. To be taking out some of the celosia that has dried up, and but before I do that, I'm going to go get a container so I can save some of the seeds. So some have already seeded, obviously, just because of them drying out. Celosia is pretty good with that. I'm just going to try keeping seeds that I can use in the landscape for the spring. And some of these, unfortunately, the grasshoppers get to them and then they perish. So I'm going to put these here in this plastic container, separate them by color because I do have yellow and this fuchsia pink, and then I'll collect the seeds later. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the celosia here. It reseeded itself, it volunteered here, and although I love volunteers, the location that they have grown is not the best for themselves or for the bird of paradise. So if they survive the transplant, great. If they don't, that's okay. Since they are blooming, we'll go ahead and get those seeds from it. And we have plenty of seedlings in the greenhouse that we can replace them, so not a big deal. plants too. I'm just gonna plant them here. There's other pink celosia growing, and there's actually a baby there, seedling. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move back this mulch. This plant tag over. This is basically a celosia bed, which I wouldn't mind it just taking over completely, just be a sea of celosia. So I'm going to plant it deeper than what it was, because it probably go through some shock. And that second one, I don't know what I did with this. Oh, there's a seedling. Just put that here. Right behind the tag. Continue cleaning this up. So the deer presence has come back to this garden the past few days, and they are chomping on things, testing them out, tearing them apart. So although I feel for them, very frustrating as well as a gardener. I have placed the repel all, but when I do that, it seems to attract raccoons. So, and then the raccoons will actually dig up plants as well. So I'm kind of in that same boat. Just don't know which is the worst evil, honestly. So I'm gonna take deadhead these echinacea. I don't know if they'll bloom again. I would like for them to reseed themselves. This is still a little not completely dried. Yes, they are very pokey. And if the birds take off with them, that's okay. I don't mind them needing food. Let's see what happens. So I'm just cleaning up the line where the mulch and the rocks meet up just a little bit. This is on a slight slope, so if it rains or when it rains, the mulch will slowly slide down. My Marco Barco is here. Hi, buddy. I tend to wear gloves when I'm gardening. However, I have a blister on my palm from weeding my prayer garden, and I tend to sweat quite a bit, and I just didn't want to aggravate the blisters, so I'm electing to go without today. Spreading some of this echinacea shoot seed. grows, great. I have some for the spring. If it doesn't, it's okay. Hopefully it'll be food for the birds. Coreopsis back here, which I think I'm going to go ahead and dig out and plant it up here in the front. Not because it's not doing well, it's doing rather well back here. It's just no one's seeing it. Hopefully it'll actually bloom for me. I'm going to prune up the celosia as well, and they have already starting to drop seeds, which is fine because I don't mind it reseeding itself in this area, but I'm going to go ahead and collect it for other areas. And I figure I'll do this before I weed this little patchy area. And I do, like I said, I do reuse like lids and containers from sandwiches or pastry. They're good containers, and once they are spent, I recycle them. So here are the inland oat seeds, and I'm just going to scatter them around. They've fallen from the plant. I'm just going to rough up the soil underneath. will be adding more mulch to this area as well. Okay, it's all cleaned up. Removed that verbena, lobster husk verbena. I'm considering planting this curly copper leaf here. We do have another one planted on this side, so I think it'll be nice. They will get a good amount of size. That will be next year, so I think that would be just beautiful with irrigation. Echinacea celosia is all cleaned up. That is a native Frenchie right there. Sitting on my celosia. It's all tidied up. That celosia I pruned up as well. Replanted that coreopsis from back that area. Cleaned up these pots. Filled up the water in there. So I'm going to actually give him a bath. This is all tidied up now. Again, tidied up because the leaves will come again, because it's an oak tree that it sits underneath, and then you have all these live oaks. So where they say it's brushing your teeth while you're eating Oreos, it's kind of the same concept, but for the majority of it is tidied up, cleaned up. The maintenance is done for at least a couple more weeks, and I feel so much happier.